Good morning, afternoon, and evening. This is episode 2 of custom car builds that I have made in Gran Turismo 7. But for episode 2, I thought I'd change it up a bit. If you want to see episode 1, I did it on the Charger Hellcat. Episode 2, Episode 2 will be on quite an unusual car in Gran Turismo, the Renault Kangoo 1.4, and I am turning this thing into, yes, you can see that, an LM based touring car, because it doesn't really have the... I wanted to do something with the Kangoo because it's such a strange vehicle in the game, but it doesn't have the power for LM race car spec, so I'm going to turn it into an LM touring car. Similar to, if you remember, I'm going to go back to the older games like I did in the first episode, the Mazda Atenza touring car and the Honda Integra touring car, those sort of cars that are around the 300 horsepower rank. I am basing what I'm going to call LM touring cars on. If you want to know the specs of this weird beast, here they are: 250 horsepower, so not quite the 300 threshold, but 950 kilos. Yeah, it's quite light for... I did have a high RPM turbocharger, but there was so much lag that I put a medium turbocharger in it. So I decided to do another GT Sophie AI, but around Dragon Trail Seaside, and it is with comparable cars. Probably you've got like the McLaren F1 and MP412Cs in the race, but how was it like to drive? Well, it's quite strange because, like I said, there is a shitload of turbo lag, so the straight line speed just isn't there, but the handling, it's honestly one of the best handling cars for its size I have ever driven in this game. It is so grippy, and you can see the amount of body roll that's in this weird beast. But the livery I did, it sort of replicates... I did a racing modification for it, and you can see that on my channel if you look through my liveries on Gran Turismo 7. It's sort of based off that similar style, but just updated a bit, and it is quite comparable to some of these cars in this game. And if you get a good exit out of some of these corners, it can power past some of these cars, but usually I'd get them in the braking zones at through the corners. And through this part, the death chicane, it went flat out at about 100 miles an hour. It was honestly quite scary to drive at times. The GT Sophie AI was at professional difficulty, so you don't need to discredit it thinking it's the regular Gran Turismo AI or even GT Sophie AI on like beginner or amateur difficulty. But 250 horsepower I think is a correct amount for this thing. I think any more and it would just feel undrivable, but like I said, the body roll, it looks very strange, but like I said, it is a joy to drive. If only it just had a wee bit more horsey powers in it, it would probably have gotten first in this race. I think I was running second, but I ran wide at the final corner on the final lap, so I ended up finishing third behind that orange MP412C. But I did do another lap of this thing around Sardinia. That's going to be my test track. As you can see beforehand, you can see my first episode, the Charger Hellcat run beforehand, and also probably a comparable car to the Kangoo, the GTR Group 4. But I'm going to shut the hell up now, and I'm going to let you listen to this strange sounding vehicle. So that was the Kangoo round Sardinia Road Track A, and yes, it did a 58.7, so it is at the bottom of my leaderboard at the moment, but by quite some margin. I'm sure it'll be joined by other LM spec touring cars and other slower builds that I do. But if you do want to see more of this content, leave a comment down below on what sort of vehicles you want me to build. I've already got episode 3's cars sorted. Spoiler alert, it is another European car, but anything past that, just let me know, and I'll see you in the next episode.